Hello, everyone. It's Shane Whittington here. I'm here to do my SWOT analysis on the Raleigh Fire Department. So let's go ahead and jump in. For the strengths for the Raleigh Fire Department as part of the SWOT analysis, I've identified four key strengths for RFD. We've got training. RFD has highly trained individuals that can respond to an array of incidences. Pretty much any incidents that you could think of, uh, RFD is trained on at some point, whether it be hazmat related, rescue, fire, EMS, any of those sorts. And that's a major strength of Raleigh Fire Department and really all fire departments across the country, professional fire departments, with training becoming a big emphasis due to NFPA standards and other things. Second strength identified is equipment. Raleigh Fire Department has great equipment. Every year they add several fire trucks and they push out the older fire trucks. My company, we're on a 2023 ladder truck, and it's just kind of across the board in the department. All the engines and ladders are frontline equipment, and not even just fire apparatus, also just other equipment, whether it be axes are all new, fire hoses, uh, training equipment, etc. The third strength identified was community involvement. RFD strives itself on being a uh, pillar of the community and getting involved. Normally, at least once a month, every apparatus in the city gets out and does a canvassing effort, checking for low batteries and smoke detectors. I know my company, we do it at least once a month. Get out there, check on. You just knock on people's door and see if their smoke detector is beeping. Change the battery. Just getting in the community, having people over for open houses, showing kids the fire truck, just being a member of the community, and it's a major strength of RFD. And then lastly is resources, and that's kind of just a catch-all. Falls back into equipment, but RFD has a lot of resources, being the fire department in the capital city, and that can go from all different types of resources. May it be the equipment or mutual aid. There's all the neighboring cities help out for incidences in near their area. We also help with other municipalities and mutual aid for around Raleigh. So let's go ahead and go over to the weaknesses. Weaknesses identified in the SWOT analysis were number one, which has all the 8 years since I've been with RFD, it's always been manpower shortage, uh, and that also falls into number three on the weaknesses list with retention. And fire trucks are just short. I think they're kind of short across the state, and that can be for a multitude of reasons, for pay, for just less interest in the job, and that's something that RFD has to identify and correct. But it's an ongoing battle. Manpower shortage that can affect responses to calls. Like my truck is supposed to have a minimum of four for a ladder truck, and oftentimes, like this past Saturday, we rode three. So with a man short, you can only do half the job. Normally, you always have to have two people for a job. Uh, like when you get on scene for a ladder truck, we split into two teams, and with three people, obviously you can't do that. So you can only do one objective on scene, and that would be search. So ventilation, it goes out the window when you've got manpower shortage, and that's across the city. And really, you see that in a lot of the city departments, especially since COVID. Just manpower shortage is a major weakness in RFD. Um, Second would be budget constraints. That's just cost money to do business, and we have a good budget in Raleigh, but it's not always, you can't buy everything you'd like to, but you've got a budget that you've got to stick to, and that's a weakness. If funds were unlimited, uh, we could increase customer service, but budget constraints always going to be a weakness. Retention, that goes back into manpower shortage. The Raleigh City Council has tried to do a retention bonus for 5 years. That might have helped some, but retention is still a major weakness. We're seeing firefighters, you go through a 9-month academy and then quit after 3 years. And normally, with that kind of investment, you're hoping to get someone for their full career. So retention is going to be a weakness that continuously needs to be improved on. And then fourth is increased population. Raleigh is one of the largest growing cities in the country, and with that increased population, that is increased call volume. Um, you experience firefighter burnout when you're running twice as many calls a day. So the increased population is another weakness that needs to be identified and improved upon. So now we've got opportunities for RFD. Technology is a great opportunity. Every day, the fire service and Raleigh Fire Department, they make innovations in technology and they use it to do a better job. Technology, for instance, for the fire department, one great technological innovation that I've seen is when a call comes in now. Used to, it would just come over the radio and you would have to listen to it, maybe write it down. But now it goes to a tablet. You see a lot of information. You see everything that the dispatcher has seen for the call, everything that the person on the line has told them. We get that information. You get fire hydrant locations. You get conditions. We get weather conditions, traffic conditions. There's just a lot of. It's just improving every call with technology, and that's just one aspect. There's a lot of different technological innovations, and there's still plenty of opportunities for RFD and other fire departments across the country. Number two opportunities is mutual aid, just neighboring cities working together to solve problems, and you love to see it. Raleigh, we work with all the suburbs of Raleigh, all the townships around, and you gain a relationship with those people, and you give better service to the citizens. So my station, we're in North Raleigh, and we work with Wake Forest all the time. Sometimes Wake Forest, a couple weeks ago, they had a big fire, and Raleigh sent some of their engines to Wake Forest to cover the stations while the fire was going on. And Wake Forest does stuff like that for Raleigh and other townships across the area. So mutual aid's a great opportunity to work together and provide better service. Number three opportunity, always grants. I'm on the hazmat side of RFD, so I see hazmat grants getting awarded to RFD and other fire departments. And grants is just a great way, talking about those budget weakness, those budget constraints. Grants can add funding and do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do with your normal budget. So grants are a great opportunity. Threats. Community service is not community service. Community support is a big threat to RFD. One of our biggest strengths is community involvement, but it can be a threat if you have a negative thing, maybe a bad call, bad publicity. Community support can be a great strength, but it can also be a weakness and a threat. On the flip side, if you're not having good public perception, if you're not doing if you're not doing a good job, that can be a threat. RFD had a big publicized individual who no longer works with us, who was caught with a large amount of drugs, and that puts a stain on the department. It makes the community not trust us, and that's not something that you can take lightly. And so, community support, it can be, like I said, it can be a strength or a weakness, and it's up to us to make it a strength and not a threat. Second threat is going to be city council. Politics, falls into everything, and the city council, whether they want to work with us or not, it can just be a threat that you have to address. Lastly, building materials. So that's a big threat for the fire department across the country. So with lightweight building materials being very popular now, they burn very fast, and it's a big threat to firefighter safety, to other residents. Like, used to, a fire, it could be burning for 10 minutes and a fire department could get there and put it out and it's no problem. But now you're only getting a couple minutes and before a flashover, a collapse. And that also can, not only does that endanger the firefighters on scene, the residents, but also now the neighbors too. Oftentimes you see multiple houses catching on fire just with these lightweight building materials. Um, they just catch very fast, a lot of plastics involved. It's a major threat that hopefully we can flip back over to those opportunities of technology, and we can, as a fire service as a whole, in the fire service as a whole, can look to correct that threat and kind of mitigate that issue. And that is all. Thank you.